Is this AR-15 legal in the state of California? Using just what you see here, is this legal? Answer down in the comments, yes or no, okay? Now, what about this one here? Is this AR-15 legal in the state of California? Yes or no, down in the comments as well. Now, if you answered yes or no, you were wrong. The correct answer to whether or not this AR-15 pistol is legal in the state of California, just with the information provided here, is not enough information. You actually don't know. There is no way to tell, based on that photo, whether that AR-15 pistol is legal. And there's no way to know whether or not this AR-15 rifle is legal either in the state of California. There is simply not enough information present in those images, video images, of those firearms as is. So let's talk about that. Before we do though, not a lawyer, not legal advice. If you need a lawyer, seek out a lawyer. Again, I am not one of those, so I cannot give you advice. I'm just talking about something. And the reason we're talking about this is I will post photos of my guns online, or I'll see people post photos of firearms online, and people in the comments will be quick to say, well, that's actually illegal in California. You can't have that in California. And with just a photo, it's actually incredibly difficult to know whether or not something breaks the California assault weapon ban. It's pretty easy to tell from a photo whether or not something would be considered a SBR federally, or a short-barreled rifle federally, or full auto. It's pretty easy to tell some of those things sometimes, but when it comes to the state of California and the assault weapon ban, what's interesting to note is there are no real rules against constructive possession. So you could have a firearm, let's say that this gun was semi-auto and it's an AR pistol. You can own normal magazine releases, but in order for this gun, if it was semi-auto and an AR pistol, in order for it to be legal, this magazine would have to be fixed, which would mean in order to remove the magazine, I would have to disassemble the action by opening it slightly. Now, let's show you real quick, just to show you for the sake of conversation. This gun has a barrel length of less than 16 inches. That's pretty easy to just gather by looking at. This is a pistol brace made by PSA or H&R. This gun is semi-automatic. You're just going to have to trust my word on that. And because of that, I cannot drop the magazine until I open the action just slightly by pressing this rear pin here. Action opens up. When the action is opened up, the magazine can come out. Now, because it's a fixed magazine gun, it has to be limited to 10 rounds in order to remain legal. Now, do you know how many rounds this holds? Well, I'm telling you it's 10, so therefore it is 10. It's got a block inside that cannot be removed. This is a 10-round mag in a fixed magazine semi-auto AR pistol. It's legal. And just from a photo, you cannot tell me otherwise. And without showing me reload it, and without showing you it shooting more than 11 rounds, assuming 10 rounds in the mag plus 1 in the chamber, without showing you things like that, you wouldn't actually be able to tell whether it was legal or illegal. So just a photo alone is not enough to show that it is not in compliance with the California assault weapon ban. Do not take this as legal advice. If you don't know what the law is, and you are breaking it, knowing that you're breaking it, don't post dumb shit on the internet. I'm just having a conversation with you. Now, this AR-15 rifle is not semi-auto. You're going to have to trust my word for that. But if you saw this, you saw what looks like a drum mag that looks like it would hold more than 10 rounds. You see a flash hider on the front. You see a pistol grip. You see a stock that adjusts. Well, you would think that that would be illegal in the state of California. Well, with the bolt closed, or with this closed, you can't even tell me whether or not there is a bolt carrier group inside of this gun, which would mean that it is not functionally whole as semi-auto. So how do you know that this gun is semi-auto? How do you know that it's not missing a firing pin? How do you know that the gas tube hasn't actually been cut just short of here so that it no longer functions? How do you know that the gas block is actually installed the correct orientation to function as semi-auto? How do you know that all the parts in the fire control group are there? You don't. You cannot tell. How do you know that this magazine holds more than 10 rounds? You can't, because you cannot see it. So, is this gun legal? Well, yes, because I'm telling you that it lacks the parts required to be semi-auto. Now, an important thing to note, a very important thing to note that a lot of people get wrong. When it comes to the California assault weapon ban based on features, the DOJ put out some regulations saying that a firearm that is missing certain parts that would be required to function as semi-auto are not semi-auto. It also said that if you remove the upper and lower, for example, just completely separate the upper and lower, that gun is not considered semi-auto at that moment. Important to note. However, if, for example, you have an adjustable gas block on your upper receiver and you just turn it to the closed position, the DOJ explicitly mentions that that is considered a functionally whole semi-auto, because in the same way that putting a cable lock through it or putting a trigger lock on it, all of the parts required to function as semi-auto are present, and it's just turned off. In the same way that flicking it from fire to safe is not making it not semi-auto anymore, just putting the gun on safe, it's still functionally whole as a semi-automatic firearm. So because of that, doing things like just turning off the gas system does not comply with that. But really, let's say that this gun was semi-auto. Let's say that it was. Pretend that this is a fixed magazine firearm for a second. Pretend that it's semi-auto. How would you know that it's not fixed magazine? There are fixed magazine devices like this one here that exist completely inside of the gun, and that until you show that it works, you wouldn't actually be able to tell that it's fixed magazine or not. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and start posting illegal firearms on the internet. I'm not telling you to do that. Please do not interpret it that way. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is that when someone posts a firearm online in the state of California, you can't actually, for the most part, be sure that it is or isn't in compliance with the California assault weapon ban, because you don't know if that gun is semi-auto. You don't know if it's fixed magazine. You don't know if it's missing certain parts that would be required to be there. You don't know if this magazine is 10 rounds or less, because this gun I've shown you is fixed magazine. Okay? Completely legal. But if this was a 11 round or more magazine, this gun would be an assault weapon. Legal gun. Let's pretend that this was 11 round mag, right? Illegal gun. Legal gun. Illegal gun. Legal gun. Illegal gun. But at the same time, how could you possibly know that this is not fixed to 10 rounds only? You can't. So, just something to be mindful of. You guys know the drill. Have fun, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace.